So Python fundamentals. In this chapter, we are going to learn about what are the character set available in Python and tokens in Python. Okay, so here they are given what are the things that will be applicable for Python. Okay, so character set means a set of valid characters recognized by the Python interpreter. Okay, what are the characters you can use in a Python program in a variable or as a string or anything, anywhere. Okay, so what are the characters we can use? So see, there are five things. The first one, the first one is letters, that is alphabets, both capital letters and small letters. Okay, Python is a case sensitive. Okay, it will treat both as a different one. Students understood? Letters capital A to Z and small a to Z. Students?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Then digits, that is numbers, that is 0 to 9 or combination of these numbers. Okay. Anything will be used. Then special symbols like all the symbols available in our keyboard. Okay. Computer keyboard, all the symbols like percentage at uh, plus multiplication. So this like symbols, everything coming under special symbols. So that is also used in Python. Okay. Then next one is white spaces. White space means we can give a space to our program by many means. Okay, like you can give space like just giving a space bar, or you can use to tab. Okay, then enter key also give a space, new line, form fit. So everything are the different kinds of space giving options. Okay, then finally other characters, Unicode characters, that is universal coding, right? uh, Other characters means, so not only alphabet, it can also use other language characters. Okay, other language means that speaking language. Okay, so like you can use Tamil or Indian languages or other universal languages. Okay, all the Unicode supported languages can be used in the Python, right? So these are the five things we can use it in our program. So first one alphabets, second digits, third one symbols, fourth one spaces, last one Unicode. Okay, all characters. Okay, that's all. You can note it down. These are the character set. So definition for character set is a set of valid characters recognized by Python. Okay, students understood?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
Yes, Yes. sir.
Okay. Yes. Then token. Okay. Token. Okay. So before going to token, we will see this thing. This is a subtopic. So how to get input for our program and how to display the output in the computer. Okay. So we are having two special functions for getting input and displaying output. Okay. So for getting input, this is the function input. Okay. For getting input, for displaying the output, that is not output function, that function name is print. Okay, so whatever you are giving inside the print, it will display in the screen. Students understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
So okay, so now I also show you an example. Wait. Okay, so in the 12th standard we have to understand all the topics, so I will explain everything in detail. No worries. If there is any doubt, you can also ask again and again. Okay, I will explain you always, right? Any number of times. Don't worry. So because everything is a program related, so it is not a theory concepts. Don't memorize. So whatever doubt you are having, you just get it by the uh, program. Okay, just a workout. Okay, so now just open the ideally screen. Everyone, this visible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so see, a equal to 5 means we are exactly assigning the 5 value to the a. Okay, so instead of this, we can also get input at the runtime. So runtime means, for example, b equal to input of, just if you give input means it will get a input, otherwise you can specify anything because what we have to enter. So without anything, if we're just giving input means it will take as a string as a input. Okay, so enter a string or enter a name or whatever. Okay, if you give like this, see, it will get input from yourself, right? So I am going to give Python. Okay, so we just get input Python and stored in the B. Okay, this is another way of assigning a value. Okay, after getting input from the user at the runtime, we can assign, right? Students understood? This is the input function for getting the input. Everyone understood the usage of
Yes.
input?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is the input function. Okay, very basic. Okay, so
Sir,
then
suppose we specify the data type, we can use any data type, sir.
yes, you can use any data type. B equal to integer of, sorry, C. Okay, now I use C, integer of input. Okay, that input should be integer. Understood? We have to mention the enter a value. Okay, so see, this is user dependent. So depending upon this, user can enter a value, enter a string or enter a value. Okay, this is we want to show when executing the program. So this may be anything. So without this also it will get a input because you are a user, that is you are a creator. Okay, for you know what you need for your program. Okay, if someone uses or access your system and execute your program means they don't know what is happening in your program. So we want to show what we want to get. Okay, that is what we are giving some instructions like this. Okay, understood? So now if you execute this line, it will get integer value. Enter a value means we should give any value. Okay, 3. So now 3 is stored in C. Okay, so and I already told you. Okay, now let's see this one. Integer is another function for getting integer value. Okay, input for input function. Okay, this is like without mentioning means it will get a string. If you want to get list means list value. See, this is a list one. Eval. Okay, eval is the function. It will get a list of values. Students understood? Enter a list of values. Now you can give any values. Okay, students understood?
Yes.
Okay, eval
Yes,
for
sir.
getting list of values. See, we have just seen three kind of types. Okay, that is for getting string value, for getting integer value, and for eval. Okay, so now the next function, that is displaying output in the screen. Okay, for displaying output we can use print function. Okay, understood, students? If you are just
Yes,
giving b, print to b, okay, what will display?
Python.
Okay, Python, because in the same screen it will display whether it is any value related to b, means it will display that stored value. Okay, Python is the stored value, so it will display. Okay, see, Python. Okay, and see, then print the string is. Okay, this is for decoration of our program. So whatever we are giving, that will be displayed in the output. Okay, the string is b. Okay, so now what is the output, students?
The string is Python.
Yes, the string is with whatever we are giving inside the single quotation, it will display as it is. Okay, this is for decorating. Okay, whatever you need, you can write and show in the output screen. Okay, single quotation or double quotation that activate as a string, that will not affect our program, just it will show in the output. So then this b is a variable, we given a value, right? See, b is a value that get from user. The value is the value for b is Python. Okay, so now what will happen, it will print the string is Python. Okay, understood? Like this you can do whatever you need in a output statement. Okay, this is for output statement. So b into c. Okay, b into c. Now what is the output, students? So what is the value stored in b, students?
Python.
Yes, what is the
Python
value in c?
3.
3.
3. Okay, c, you see, in c we given 3. So what will happen now, we just used the multiplication operator, string and integer. Okay, I already told you what will happen here in string manipulation, it will replicate. Okay, it will replicate the string. So Python will be displayed 3 times. Okay, b into c, that is Python into 3. Here that the multiplication operator act as a repetition process. Okay, see here, say Python, Python, Python. Okay, Python displayed 3 times. Understood? So whatever you need, you should give in the print statement. This is the statement for showing the output. Everyone understood, students?
Yes, sir.
Yes. This is the two functions. Note it down. Okay. Then another function. See, print of. You can get the type of variable. Okay. This is a type function. Type of a. Okay. Comma type. Okay. We will give in the next line. So type of a means it will show the what data type of a. If you don't know exactly, you can print like this. Okay. So now what is the data type of a?
Integer.
Integer. Okay. You see the, say, class integer, this is the integer is the data type. Okay, like this you can get the type of the value. Okay, variable. So now I want to check eval. Okay, so type of d, see, tuple. Understood? So eval means it activates tuple.
Sir, suppose in that evil, if we give the square bracket, it will be a list, sir.
uh, don't know, I will check and tell you, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the function for getting the data type of the variable type. Okay, type, and inside this you give the variable. It will show the type of the variable, that is data type, right? Students understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, very good. So that's all. Now we will continue with the tokens. Okay. So everyone noted those three functions: input function, output function, and the type function. Okay, these are very, very important. Okay, now tokens. Token means a smallest individual unit in a program. Excuse. Smallest individual unit in a program is known as token. That is, each and everything in a program is coming under token. Okay, it may be a keyword, it will be identifier or literal or operator or a punctuator. Okay, everything comes under tokens, right? So what are the different kind of tokens? So see, only five things: keywords, identifiers, literal, operators, and punctuators. Okay, these are the five things. For this, given you a shortcut, that is to remembrance. Kilo, sorry, kilo. Okay, this is the word you should remember. K for keywords, I for identifier, L for literal, O for operator, P for punctuators. Okay, you know kilo. Kilo, you already know this name. Okay, just add P. Okay, kilo. Then you will get a idea about tokens. Understood? So now we are going to see one by one of this token. We start with the keyword. Keyword is a special word. Okay, that is a reserved word for interpreter. Okay, it will give a special meaning. Okay, you cannot use that keyword as a identifier. Okay, you cannot store any value to these keywords. Understood, students? So these are the example for keywords. Students, everyone understood? See, you
Yes,
Yes,
can
sir.
you can you
Yes,
you
sir.
can remember any keywords, but for exam, you should write at least five examples. Okay, we all every time we are using these keywords. Don't forget this. This and keyword, from, break, continue, if, elif. Okay, import statement that we used in the third. That is the last chapter, SQL, import mysql.connector. Okay, remember. Then while, for. So these are lot of time we used these things, so don't forget. At least you have to write four keywords. Okay, keyword means a reserved word having a special meaning to the interpreter. Okay, if you want to use continue means you have to use in the particular area, don't use anywhere. It will create a error because it have special meaning. You cannot use this as a variable to assign a value. Okay, we given that previously we given a equal to 5. Okay, it will store a value to the a. Okay, instead of this, if you are try to give and equal to 5 means, and is the keyword. Okay, here you cannot use this as a variable. Students understood? Okay, here this is
Yes, sir.
wrong.
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
This one is right. A equal to 5 is right, and equal to 5, because you cannot use this keyword as a variable. You cannot use assign a value. Okay, students understood everyone? Keywords.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes. Then identifiers. Okay, identifiers are the name which we given for a variable, function, class, module, or any other object in a program. Okay, name we are giving to identify. Okay, so in a program you can create anything that variable, function, class, so whatever the thing, you have to give a name to access in future of the program. Okay, understood, students? For example, if you want to display any value, we are creating a program like this. Okay, a equal to 5, b equal to 4, like this. So next only we are displaying this print a comma b. Okay, so if you want to print this a comma b, okay, you have to use those variable before. Okay, this is called identifier. Okay, we should use this a5 b4. Okay, if you didn't use this one and you are trying to access in the output, means it will produce an error. Okay, so if you want to access this value, before itself you have to create those variables or functions or class. Okay, this is variable. Students understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. So for this creating a name, we are having a 5 rules. Okay, there are lot of rules, but you keep in mind these only 5 rules. Okay, that also I will tell you. You write it down, or you already written, means no issues. The other students write it down. The first one should be, it starts with letter or underscore. Okay, letter means we know that is alphabet. Starts with a to z, or small a to z, because it is a case sensitive, both will act as a different variable. Okay, or underscore. Okay, underscore, you know, you can see this keyboard. Okay, so see there are two symbols, underscore and minus. Don't confuse with the minus symbol and the underscore. Okay, minus is a hyphen, underscore means that line will be below the variable, that is like underline. Okay, below any character means we are putting a line, means that is like underline. So here it is called as without any character. If you give that line, means that is called underscore. Okay, this is the first rule. Then second, the name contains numbers. Okay, students understood? The second rule, name contains numbers. That is 0 to 9. Any number you can contain, but it not in the first position. Okay, students understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Third one,
Yes, sir.
yes, third one, it should not contain any other symbol. No other symbol allowed. Okay, no other symbols allowed in a identifier. No other symbols used. Okay, this is third one. That is like plus symbol, multiplication symbol, underscore. Those symbols. That is not underscore. Question mark, at symbol, exclamatory symbol, less than, greater than, that square bracket, full stop, comma. These are the other symbols you cannot use in a identifier. Okay, only special symbol allowed is underscore. Okay, students understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Then fourth symbol, so fourth rule, no keywords allowed. Okay, you cannot use keyword as a identifier. No keywords allowed. Right? Students understood keywords? Just now we saw what is keyword. It has a special meaning. You cannot use keyword as a identifier. This is the fourth rule. Okay. Fifth one, it is a case sensitive. Okay, very much important. But okay, so if you are using same variable in a program. Okay, like same name. For example, they given, okay, these are the 5 rules. So see here, this roll number and this capital R and small r, both are roll number. You can use this both values in the program. Both will treat as a different variables. Okay, don't think roll number and roll number are the same. Okay, this Python will accept this variable as a case sensitive. So this first roll number is a different variable, second roll number is a different one. Okay, students understood? These are the 5 rules. Okay, the first one, it start with the alphabet. Second, it can contain numbers. Okay, not in the first character, that anywhere, right? Except the first character. Then third one, no other symbols. Fourth one, no keywords allowed. Fifth one, Python is a case sensitive. Okay, these are the 5 rules, and you should practice what are the valid identifiers and invalid identifiers. Okay, students understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. Because see in the example given below, these are the valid identifiers because it created by the rules. Okay, everything accepted the rule. Okay, within that rule. But here, see invalid identifier. Okay, here these are invalid identifier because the first one, you see, first one, why it is invalid?
It starts with
Yes, it starts with the number. Okay, so it breaks the first rule itself. It the identifier should start with a character or underscore. Okay, the second one, what is the reason?
It is the keyword.
Yes, break is a keyword. Very good. Third one, my dot book.
Special symbol.
Special
It's
symbol.
special character, that is except underscore. Here we used a dot, so it is a invalid. You cannot create with this. It will create an error. Okay, so here data hyphen cs.
Special symbol is
Yes,
Special
used.
special symbol. This is not
symbol.
underscore. Okay, this is underscore. Sorry, this one is underscore, but here this is not underscore, right? So these are valid symbols. Date is a 2D file 123 my book. These are valid. Okay, but the below examples are invalid. So you should know the rules. Okay, for finding the invalid identifiers. Okay, these questions they will ask in the exam. Okay, so in the following, which one are valid identifiers or invalid identifiers? They will ask in the exam. Okay, so students, you should know at least these 5 rules. These 5 rules enough. Okay, everyone
Yes,
understood?
sir.
Yes. Okay. So the same thing. Then we coming under literal. So literal means number, text, or other data that represent values to be stored in variable. Okay, in simple, this is a constant. Okay, literal means constant. Identifier means mostly in our syllabus we are using for variable and function. Okay, so variable means changing, literal means constant, that is fixed one. Okay, students understood? See here they given 4 kinds of literals. See, this is a string literal. Literal means I given a name constant. Okay, so here Johnny, this is the first example. Here Johnny in single quotation is a string. It will be treated as a literal, that is constant. It always constant. Okay, but see name, this is a variable. Okay, this Johnny is assigned to name. Okay, name can be changed to any variable in a program. Okay, but Johnny is constant always. Okay, for example, the same program in the next line, a name equal to 7.5. Okay, what will happen now, students? This is first line, this is second line.
It will accept, sir.
Yes, in the third line, print name. Okay, what will be the output, students?
Both the things also will get printed.
No, no. Not like this. First line name equal to Johnny, second line name equal to 7.5. Okay, this is the usage of variable. It will display, it act as a storage. Okay, that is a storage box. You want to store any value, you should use a variable. Okay, these values are a constant. Okay, so if the third line is print name, it will display the last updated value. Okay, so I will show you the program. Okay, this is the program. Okay, 1 second, wait. I will close and open a new screen. Okay, only 1 minute is enough, so I will show you in this example itself. So we go for script mode. Okay, so see students, everyone, the screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Same example I am using, name equal to Johnny. Okay, second line name equal to 7.5. Okay, so here Johnny and 7.5 are the constant, that is literal. The first one is the Johnny is a string literal, second line 7.5 is a float literal. Okay, so if I want to print the value name, okay, so it will display the last updated value. Okay, you want to save the program, like example 1.py. Okay, so if I execute means it will display the last updated value. Okay, see here, see the output, students, everyone see clearly, 7.5. Okay, the last updated value will be displayed in the output screen. Okay, you can use multiple values for a single variable, but understand this variable is for that is like a storage